Well, I think one way or another, fashion has always been innovative. Then what it is the situation now? Well, I believe how fashion is produced and consumed today needs to change. It's not sustainable any longer. So probably there is even more of a need for the industry to be innovative. And I think the industry is moving forward in becoming more innovative in terms of moving from a linear model to a circular model, moving from conventional material to more sustainable materials, or innovative in building different business models. So I think as an industry, fashion is becoming even more innovative. Well, I think sustainability and innovation are very closely connected. It has always been, and I think one is the driver of the others. Our ambition, just to remind ourselves, our ambition at H&M is to lead the change toward a sustainable fashion future. To do that, we need to move from a linear model to a circular model. And basically, innovation will take all aspects of that circular model. And what a circular model is? Well, it's from the design of the product, the choice of material, the production processes. Then it's about how the product and the garments and the fashion item are consumed by our customers. And then it's about the end life of the product, the recycling part. And on all of these 5 different aspects, innovation will play a key role. We can't do more without innovation. Well, that's an interesting question. I think this is done in collaboration. I don't think one or the other is more innovative. I think we all have our responsibilities to bring a more sustainable innovation to our industry. And obviously, I mean, the more the brands will be demanding, the more the retailer will be demanding on innovation or on sustainability, the more the suppliers and the manufacturers will answer to that demand. So I think it's a give and take approach. I think it's not one or the other that will be more sustainable. We have to put a demand as a brand and retailers, and then work with supplier that can answer that demand. But I think it's the role of every partners within our industry to become more innovative and more sustainable. Well, I think startups is an acceleration. So we need startups. We need fast, innovative companies that can scale innovation in a fast way and can incubate innovation as well. We need those companies to explore, to challenge us as well, to push boundaries. And startup have the structure to do it. So I think startup will play a key role. But of course, I mean, it's not the only vehicles. I think any companies have their own mechanism as well in place. And I think everyone can, one way or another, work on innovation. It's just a matter of what priority do you put on innovation internally within your own organizations? Well, I think when you start to work with innovation, we have to work and be agile in a different model. The model that we apply here, it's a test, learn, and scale approach. We need to test, we need to learn from the success, but also from the failure. And then we need to readjust or scale the success. And this is the model that works for innovation. And that's very important that we need to get those models within our own organization to be able to be implemented. Then, for example, at H&M, what vehicles do we have for innovation? Well, we have different vehicles. We have our collabs investment engines that a lot of innovation comes from that collab investment. But also we have, for example, the work and the fantastic work that H&M Foundation is doing with, for example, the Global Change Award that we have as a challenge to promote and to scale and to incentivize innovation every year. This is a very good vehicle for us to basically spot different innovation and be able to test, learn, and scale those innovation. And we have seen great results coming from those different models. For example, from the collab investment, we have seen RenewCell as a new material and a new innovation, which is called circulose, which basically it's a material that comes from textile waste. This is an investment or an innovation that we would not have done it without an investment through our collab vehicle. And then we have seen through the Global Change Award some innovation like orange fiber, VGA, which is basically a vegan leather coming from the wine industry residue. We have not been able to spot on those innovation without the Global Change Award. So I think we need to work with those. We need to scrutinize, we need to look, we need to push for innovation, we need to demand for innovation. But once the innovation comes, we need to have a test, learn, and scale approach. Without that, it's very difficult to basically be able to grow those innovations. I think in all three of them. I think it's crucial that it happens to all of those three. This is part of our circular business model and our circular agenda. As I mentioned, we want to move the industry from a linear model to a circular model, where basically the product takes a key role, how the product is designed, what material comes to the product, plays a key role, and here innovation play a huge amount in enabling that agenda. Innovation in terms of design, how do we design with circularity in mind? But also on the material, obviously innovation on material needs to happen to make the product more circular and more sustainable. But then on the process is the same. On the process, we need to explore new innovation. And here there are a lot of innovations that coming up in terms of water efficient. We have basically some process that are waterless dyeing or even some water-free washing or water-free dyeing. Innovation when it comes to the dyeing process or the dye stuff itself. And now we work with a company called Colorifix, which basically have a biotech technology about how the dye stuff is produced. And then we have innovation that needs to come also from a business model angle. And on business model, I mean, how do we enable our customer to resell their garments? How we enable customer to repair their garments? Or how we enable customers to recycle their garments? And here we have, for example, on recycling, we just launched end of last year in one of our stores here in Stockholm, what we call the Loop. And the Loop is a machine that basically is a textile to textile recycling technology that we have put in place for our customer to experience how garment to garment recycling is done. This is still a small scale, but this is just to show to our customer that all their garments hold a value of being recycled to another garment. And these are innovations to inspire customers to make sustainable choice, but inspire customer to become more sustainable as well. Well, I think if you are a company, what do you need? You need commitment. You need commitment to create a change, commitment to create a transformation. Then you need to empower the organization. That's very important. Empowering the organization will enable those development to come to reality. What I talked a bit about this test, learn, and scale approach. You need the organization to be empowered to do that. And then you need to be bold to put a goal in everyone's job description and role description. It's very important to set goals. And without goals, we won't achieve anything. So I think it's to be bold. The goal that we have set for ourselves is that by 2030, all our materials will either be recycled or sustainably sourced. End of last year, we are at 65% of it. I'm very confident we will achieve it even at a faster pace than 2030. But without those goals, we won't be able to be measured on progress. And I think it's very important that brands are all accountable as well of the progress that they make. So those goals should not only be set internally, but they should also be publicly committed, publicly disclosed, because that's the only way for brands to be held accountable and for stakeholders to monitor and to follow on progress.